Um, uh, we have been talking about story sequence and how Bad got its wings. So we're trying to figure out important events from the story that we can summarize that happened from the beginning. And usually, the beginning is when we're introduced to characters and the setting. So, and how Bad got its wings. There were two teams of animals. One team had wings, while the other team did not have wings. So we were introduced to two groups of animals that were very different from each other that were about to play a game. And then after we're like introduced to like the setting and the characters, we next usually we see the problem. The problem rises in the story. So in the story that we read, the gray bat came along and tried to join the team with animals with no wings. They told him no because he was too small for their team, and that's the problem that the character the gray bat in our story is having. He's trying to figure out his place for his team. But normally, when we see the problem where the bat is out of place, we then see steps that the problem is usually solved. So then is usually the steps the character takes to solve its problem, and we last is usually at the end of the story whether the problem is solved or not solved, and the audience figures out what happens. But let's talk about ways that the bat try to fix his problem. So he was trying to figure out a place for a team. He was trying to find a team to play with. So what did the bat do after the team with no wings rejected him? He then the bat went to the team with wings, the birds team. He went to the team with the birds. And then what happened when he did? They gave him a set of wings. They gave the bat a set of wings. So they said, "Yeah, you come join our team," and they gave the bat his wings. So they were about the same size as each other, so they were welcoming him in. But then once the game started, did the bat immediately played in the game? No, he was sitting on the sidelines, so he didn't play for a long time. Play for a long while. But until it was like towards the end of the game, he decided to go in and join the team with wings. And then what happened? The animals were very shocked because he was flying very zigzag. Well, birds usually fly very smooth in the air. So when the bat came on, he flew in zigzags. So the team without wings was shocked, and the team that he was on, he was like kind of like their secret weapon. Like people weren't expecting to be that really good in the game, but he came in. He came in at the end of the game. And then the cool conclusion was, since he came in, he did some, people were unexpected how well he played. He won the game for his team. Bold that. The bat won the game for his team. So he was actually really good at the game, and people were judging how small he looked that they figured he wouldn't be a good asset, a good player on their team, but he turns out he was very good. He was very small, very fast, and he flew in zigzags. So the conclusion was that he won the game for his team because people didn't believe that he can do it. So so this just goes to show you that don't judge a person by their looks, because they can have really good qualities and talents that you might not know about. But these are but the story sequence, if no matter what books we read or what books you read, so the first part in a book, whether it's like a small book or a chapter book, the first part we introduce to the characters and settings of the story, and remember the setting is like the location. And the next, we're kind of introduced to the problem, like, so what is the character kind of facing in their story? And then the next part is like steps the character took to solve or figure out their problem. And then the last part is like what happened at the end of the story. Did the characters solve their problem in the story, or did they not solve their problem? So for this example, how Bat got its wings, it did solve its problem. So the problem was he was trying to figure out a team to join and fit in, and he found his place with the team with the wings, because he also had wings, and he was actually a great asset to their team because he flew different, from the other birds. So he was really good. So he solved his, conflict. He was trying to figure out his place, and he found it with the team with the birds. So these are the main points that I want you guys to take away. We'll get more practice with story sequence, and it's also good to like break it down too in stories too, so you could summarize the whole story to a friend or family member or your pet instead of reading the whole story from the beginning and to the end. But the first, next, then are like great key points to take away from the story that you just read. If you have any questions about story sequence, we'll get more practice with this in the future. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And I'll catch you guys later.